Hi, this is Megan at Best Bib and Tucker in Hartville, and today I am going to show you how to make bangle bracelets out of upcycled fabric. You are going to need a pair of scissors, a ruler, and fabric and a base. So for the fabric, if you or your mom has been cleaning out closets and has a donate pile, this would be a good something to go grab from that. Or you could even use a piece of ribbon. You're going to need to cut a piece with your ruler and scissors that's about 1 inch wide and about 30 inches long. It's okay if you don't have a piece that's that long. You can tie two pieces together. Any type of fabric will work, but this like fabric, kind of sheer fabric, is going to be a little bit harder. So t-shirt material or cotton will be a little bit easier. So you might want to start with that one. Okay, so for your base, I have a couple ideas for you. You can use an existing bracelet and just cover it to make a new bracelet. Or if you have some wire, I had some craft wire here, but you could also cut a wire hanger. It needs to be about 11 inches to start with. Or you could even use a piece of cardboard. This is a cereal box. So I cut out a strip out of my cereal box. It is about 1/2 inch wide. So you need to measure your wrist to see how big your bracelet needs to be. So I'm going to hold on to it here and overlap. Now, if I made it this tight, I wouldn't be able to get my bracelet on and off. It's a bangle, so it needs to be able to slip off your wrist. So I'm going to loosen this up until I can just wiggle my hand through. And then if you're using cardboard, I would put a staple right here or wrap a piece of tape around and trim the edge. That will work for your cardboard. If you're doing wire, you're kind of going to do the same thing. Put your hand in the middle of the circle and overlap it. Kind of squeeze it to overlap until you can just wiggle your hand through like that, and then start twisting. So I'm going to twist here a couple times. My goal is to try to get that end to lay as flat as I can up against the other side. And I'm right-handed, so it was easier for me to flip it around and twist the other side there. So there is my bangle to start with. And then grab your fabric and you can start wrapping. So what you need to do is take one of the ends, put it on here, and I'm going to tie it onto a part where that end is kind of poking out a little bit. And I want to leave about 2 or 3 inches of a tail on the end. So I'm just going to knot it to itself. You see that? In one knot. I don't have to double knot it. We'll secure this later. But I do want to tie it pretty tight. Okay, so here's my tail and here's my long piece. Okay, so I'm going to put my hand right here on that knot and I'm going to start wrapping my fabric around my bangle. The most important thing you can do is keep pinching. I'm using my index finger and my thumb to pinch that fabric that I've wrapped around. This keeps it nice and tight and make sure it doesn't unravel. Now I'm just wrapping it as I go. I'm not really like being careful with which way the fabric is positioned, and that's okay. You can just keep going. This fabric is a little bit frayed on the end, and that'll end up with a bracelet that looks like this, a little bit frayed. If you want your look to end up being a little bit neater, you can very carefully tuck your sides in as you're wrapping, and that'll give you a look more like this one, or this is the one on the cereal box. Nice and neat. Okay, so I'm going to keep wrapping this. Like I said, my hand keeps moving along as I'm wrapping to make sure it is nice and tight. You could even turn this into a game, like Ready, Set, Go. Everyone starts at the same time, and the fastest person to finish wrapping wins. It'll take, gosh, probably 2, maybe 3 minutes to wrap. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Now remember that knot that we tied in our fabric to make our pieces long enough? That's coming up. I'm going to show you how we handle that. But you want to keep it really tight before you get ahead of that. See this part here, that tail? Sometimes it gets wrapped around. See how that got wrapped around? Every once in a while you just need to go and pull it back down so it's not in. Okay, so here we are up to our knot. in the fabric, and I just want the tails to kind of lay flat, and I want to push that knot down as much as I can. I'm going to take my fabric and wrap it around that knot a couple times just to hold it in place. And I'm really holding it and pinching it really tight so I get those tails to stay tight. There we go. And I probably have, I don't know, 8, maybe 9 more wraps here to go. Once we get to the end, you're going to see why it was really important to leave that tail. That's what we use to tie this end to. And it makes it all nice and tight to stay where we want it. Okay, just a couple more. Okay, so here's my tail, here's my end. I'm actually going to go under and bring my tail up. So see, it's over here. I'm going to go under and bring it up to the other side. So I crossed it over. That'll make it just a little extra tight. And then I'm going to double knot it this time. So here's one knot to hold it in place. And I'm going to do one more. There's 2. And you can leave this if you want, or I'm going to give it a little bit of a trim. Let's see. Just fold it. Like that. I'm going to trim the other side. So I'm folding it in half to trim, but you can make it straight if you want to. There we are. Bangle bracelet all done. You can wear them by themselves, or you can make a couple because now you got it. And roll it on. And there you go. Thanks for watching.